So what exactly happens when a protagonist dedicates his time and effort into his own party or group that he had been adventuring with for a while, only to at some point get backstabbed and betrayed by his own companions? This is a trope that has been gaining lots of popularity lately, and more anime about this have been coming out. So, this video will share anime recommendations for you all, where the protagonist is betrayed by his party, but proves that he is the strongest. Starting this list off with the healer who was banished from his party is in fact the strongest. Now this anime actually gets a lot of hate and people say it's not the greatest thing that they have seen, but it does have qualities that make it entertaining enough for you to actually check out. The protagonist in his old party was kicked out because his party members think that he is a weakling healer, but in reality, the guy is actually an overpowered DPS monster, and he is hiding his actual powers for, certain reasons, until he actually meets a martial arts girl who decides to join him on and discovers that his true power is actually a DPS damage dealer. Now you may find it odd at the very start as to why he's doing all this, but the mystery and abilities behind the main character is probably the coolest thing that you will ever see in this show. Support mages? Yeah, whoop-de-doo, who needs them anyways? No damage done equals to trash immediately, so you get kicked out. But boy, were they wrong to do that mistake. Scooped Up by an S-ranked adventurer is all about a white mage named Lloyd who gets banished from his party because his party believes he is just a weakling. Even Lloyd thinks he is just a simple ordinary mage, but he's extremely powerful, but is completely unaware or oblivious to his own talent. Eventually, an S-rank party meets up with him while adventuring and takes an interest in wanting him to join up. But later on, the hero's party would collapse without Lloyd being there to support the team, and what a surprise, Lloyd would gain fame from all of this. Welcome to the Outcast's restaurant. Now when you have a powerful party and their greedy leader who wants to be the best and can't really stand the sight of someone else on equal level, he actually decides to kick out the mighty level 99 chef out of his crew to get the girl for himself. And looks like Dennis won't be cooking tasty meals anymore for the party after, or before battles anymore, because he is now gonna open up his very own restaurant and use his epic cooking skills to make the best food in town for people to come and eat. Now I just wonder how his original party is doing without him. Even though he is a chef, he's extremely powerful as an adventurer, wielding a butcher knife to slay enemies with ease. This here is your typical hero protagonist, famous for being so underestimated and often kicked out from the party to then doing their own thing and finding massive success, which is exactly what happens here. The brilliant healer's new life in the shadows is a kick from the hero's party trope. The healer was seen as useless, as a weakling, and a chore boy or an errand boy, and then he decides to pretty much leave the party and opens up his very own secret underground clinic where he heals people and helps people using his powerful healing skills. I guess his former party members were very sure they didn't need a good healer during raids. I just really hope they didn't suffer without him. The most notorious talker, an absolute perfect series for you guys to witness how a weak class such as a talker gets to be overpowered in their own way and make the most powerful clan in the world. Noel wanted to be a seeker like his heroic grandfather, but instead, he got the weakling class talker. And who on earth even wants to party up with a weak talker, which is absolutely useless in combat? But however, using his talker skills, he will convince strong users such as assassins and heroes to join his clan and be under his command as he leads the most powerful party that this world has ever seen. And it's only a matter of time before people realize that they should have sided with him instead of becoming his enemy. Now, this here is a very interesting anime, actually an underrated one, that features a party that has faced issues of their own, such as getting kicked out of their former party, betrayed, or even left behind or abandoned, to then meeting up and forming a powerful party together.
Important was taken away from me by someone who was important in my life.
So I says to the guy, go ahead and try taking it, because there's no way I'm gonna
She's
let
one
you.
of those sloppy drunks.
Listening?
Of course, I'm hanging on your every word.
So anyways, I says to the guy, you know, come on.
Team to make that happen because they will struggle at the start a lot together. It turns out they are the only party actually capable of saving the world from an unexpected disaster. It's simple, it's awesome, a little generic, but very fun to watch.
Besides, it's a beautiful moonlit night.
After defeating the great evil forces as the most powerful party, they decided to murder one of their companions as they took all the fame and are admired by everyone, leaving the only guy who really did most of the work dead. However, the guy would then return from the dead as a half-elf named Kunzel, or Coinzel, however you want to pronounce his name, wielding a special blade with one goal in mind, and that is to take revenge and kill his companions for betraying him and expose their crimes in this ultimate revenge story that I highly recommend you all to try out. And now here I'm gonna give you all 3 upcoming anime, betrayed by the hero's party, as an added bonus to look forward to, starting with the series called Do You Think Someone Like You Can Defeat the Demon King?
お前ごときが魔王に勝てると思うなと勇者パーティーを追放されたので
Flum is the protagonist, and she has absolutely no power, a skill she really can't use, and somehow finds herself in a party with others without a role. Until the day came where the sage of the group decided that, a good-for-nothing girl like Flum needs to be tossed into slavery, which did in fact happen. They tossed her into monsters for entertainment as she reached out for a cursed weapon which unlocked her new power for her to use. Now witness a true dark fantasy anime in its finest form when it releases real soon. The banished court magician aims to become the strongest. Well. Support mages are useless, so they end up getting fired from the party like they usually do. But what happens next is the most predictable plot you guys know about. They turn out to be busted. The protagonist, Alec, is a support mage from the Crown Princess party that got fired for being useless and also kicked out from the palace in general, until he was approached by his former party group that wishes to invite him to conquer the dungeons once again, like the good old days. And so, the party that was called Legendary is once again active to make a name for itself and become the greatest party there ever was.
元パーティーメンバーと世界に復讐&ざまします見せてあげるよ
Boy, do I got a crazy one for you here, guys. For my last recommendation, this upcoming anime has actually one of the longest titles I've ever seen, and it's called Backstabbed in a Backwater Dungeon. My party tried to kill me, but thanks to an infinite gacha, I got level 9,999 friends, and I'm out for revenge. Wow. Now, the main character, Light, is the only human in his powerful party, but humans are considered to be the weakest. So, his party decided to do what you would expect. Backstab him and left him to die in the lower dungeon floors. But what Light does next was completely unexpected. He will use his infinite gacha to summon a harem of powerful level 9,999 allies to aid him in battle. It's a very specific number. Escape the dungeon and get revenge on his party and also the entire world itself. This does sound epic, I'm not gonna lie, but also very random and generic at the same time. Though I am excited to at least see how this one goes when it airs this year. Seems like the mission has been fulfilled. You managed to seek revenge on your companions, show your true power, and take back what is yours, and now the journey ends. But if you did enjoy, then please do drop a like to show your support, and subscribe to stay notified of all my latest uploads here on YouTube. Take care, everyone, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.